Hey everyone, it's Mackenzie here with HashBasis, and in this video we're going to be looking at a new mini app that we recently built and released, and it relates to easily pulling validator claims and other rewards data from the zero gravity blockchain, also called 0G for short. So if you head to 0g-claims.pplx.app, this web page here will come up, and if you want to try it out for yourself, you can click here where it says try example, and it'll populate with an example public validator address. And the idea here is that you select what date you want to pull all the validator claims for. So let's say we want all the data for June, and then click extract claims, and then it will go ahead and call the zero gravity API and return the data to you. Now, before we look any more into this, just want to explain a little bit why we built this app in the first place. So if you take this same address here and go to chainscan.0g.ai, this is one of the preeminent block explorers for zero gravity. We can see that it pulls up the smart contract here behind the validator address. And if we zoom in even more on the method column here under transactions, it does tell us when there's a withdraw commission or a withdraw tip fee event. And so this is very helpful, especially from the accounting perspective, because this is the revenue that we want to look at and book. Now, before we built this tool, we had to basically open up every transaction and read the logs to see what was actually claimed. So we don't actually see what was claimed here in the overview tab. You have to go to logs, scroll all the way down to where it says withdraw commission, take this number, and then I believe it's divided by 10 to the 18th, or it's 10 to the 9th to get the actual human readable number. Now, which is obviously not ideal because that takes quite a bit of time, especially if there's a lot of claims. Now, if you scroll down in this block explorer, there's also a download CSV button. Now, if you click that, it's going to pull up a spreadsheet that looks like this, except the only thing here is that it also does not expose any of the commission or tip fees that are claimed. You can see here, again, these are the withdraw methods, and then the value in 0G is basically just blank. It's just showing like a gas fee here. And so even with the block explorer and the download CSV, it doesn't actually give us the information we need. It only shows, at least in the CSV, when you actually delegate something, then it shows up. So anyway, back to our tool here. We can go ahead and scroll down, and it says, oh, in June, there was about 44 claims that happened. Here's how much was claimed in commission, and then also tip fees, and then the total was just adding those two together. So you can download all of this as a CSV or an Excel, which is really great because it's going to give you the date, the method, the amount, the transaction hash, and then also the epoch if you need it. Now, this whole issue or idea came about because we had a client. This client's on Bitwave, and they have activity on 0G. And so we also built a fun little section here where this tool will actually return the Bitwave import template for you for all of the claims for whatever period of time you want. And so all you need to do is put in whatever prefix. This should be a unique base. And then Perplexity will go ahead and append a unique number for each row. Account ID is your Bitwave wallet ID. Contact and category is basically like your customer, vendor, and then also whatever account. So let's say, for example, this is going to be hitting staking revenue. You can pop in whatever memo you want, and then transaction type. These are all just this defaults as a deposit because we're getting validator revenue here, validator claims, right? And so if you were to populate all of this information and then you click download Excel, it will go ahead and download the claims and then also the Bitwave import template. It's grayed out here because we haven't actually entered any of the Bitwave detail. But we can still click download Excel and we can pop that open. Awesome. And so now finally we can get, again, the date and the actual amount that was claimed because it's a bit of a pain to have to go to the block explorer and copy and paste all the numbers from the screen. But luckily we have this tool here where you can just query the API from our front end and get all the information you need. There's also a summary here for the period that you're requesting claims for, and then Bitwave import template. And it looks like it actually did populate some things here, which is awesome. It's just some of the fields like account, contact, category are blank because we didn't actually specify anything yet. But all the rest of the details are here. So you could use this as a pretty good base for uploading all of your Bitwave transactions. So, all right, we hope that this app is useful for anyone who has activity on zero gravity. We also have a quick FAQ down here, which explains what zero G is, how the withdrawing of the rewards and how the claims work. And then if you're also curious, we have an in-depth article on how this accounting works called How to Do Validator Accounting on Zero Gravity Blockchain. Just an article that we released recently that goes into even more detail. So, all right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you all later.